Hello, America, and thank you to Brandon for the Walkaway campaign. This has been one of the most interesting weeks of my life, and I've had a lot of interesting times and moments. I think that's great. For last week, I've been reading the stories, listening to the testimonials, and stuff that makes you choke up and appreciate. So let me first start to tell you what my walkaway story was. My walkaway story was basically when I heard that Obama won, and I was happy. I thought that being the first black president, that he could really make a difference. He could bring the country together, hope and change. Boy, did he fool us. Yeah, the first time that I knew is that he wasn't quite honest is he had all the CEOs from Google and Warren Buffett, Tesla, and they all spoke, gave him ideas what to do, how to get the economy going. And what did he do with it? Nothing. It was for show. First time he called in Biden and said, Boehner, I mean. And he said to Boehner, you know what? I won the election, we're going to do it my way. And that was his way of negotiating. Unfortunately, I believe that Obama will go down as one of the worst presidents ever, and you guys got lucky that Hillary was such a bad candidate that you got Trump. So I'm a Canadian, and I know a lot more about American politics than I do about Canadian, because Canadian politics doesn't help you at all. Well, it doesn't help me. It doesn't help. I'm a chartered accountant. I've been retired for about 17 years or semi-retired. And I actually have two places in Arizona. And I could probably vote down in the States. Look at all the illegal immigrants do, or just go to a tombstone, get a name, and say that's who you are. It just seems ridiculous how easy it is to vote in the States. Anyways, I would do it, but when I was down there, I campaigned for Mr. Trump, and it was fun. When I figured I went there, I got a free T-shirt, got some pizza, some donuts, and and it was in the primaries. And when I came back, and I actually went to a taping of Hannity, and you know how they said all the poor people and I guess people who know nothing like me were following him, and how else could you couldn't have any smarts if you backed Trump. What would anybody know who backed somebody like Trump? Because he said a lot of stupid things, but he was right about a lot of things, and the things that he was right about, I'll go into that in a minute. But the amazing thing is just how much hate is spewed by the left. Everything he's done, they have an objection to. Doesn't matter what it is. When he was talking Rocket Man and it was going to blow up the world, and then when he meets him, just because he met, there's something wrong. So, but the best thing is his American First idea. And that's what he's all about. You guys have a businessman working for you for free. But that's amazing. His whole family was working for the American people. I love the American people. I remember when I went to New York and I went down to Ground Zero. I walked down there and I saw how big a hole that was, and just wondered, how did New Yorkers ever get back up and go back? I've always respect to the Americans, but it gave me such a sense of pride. And Trump's right. Those football players should stand for the flag. There's better ways to protest than to do that. And I have some ideas on that, but that's for another time. So Trump's idea, with one of the reasons they work as a businessman is that he knows that you have to generate sales, so to speak. When I went in and helped a business when I was in trouble, as long as there was good sales there and stuff, I'd be able to make it more efficient. I'm not a salesman, so I couldn't do that for them. But if you had enough going for you in terms of volume, you could be okay. That's what Trump had to do for the states first, is get that GDP. Remember when Obama said, how are you going to bring back those jobs? You're going to wave a magic wand? No, what Trump did is he cut regulations and he stimulated the economy, and he spoke great about how great the American workers were. He encouraged everybody around the states, buy American. He's an American cheerleader. And he wants to keep everybody honest. He wants everybody to pay their fair share. Everybody's lived off the states too long, and the reality is they can't afford to do it. They have to pay off this debt. But before you start eating away at the cost of stuff, which he's going to do, you have to first create the environment and create the business and the flow, and that's what he's done. He's made American first. He's right about immigration. He's right about law and order. He's right about the VA. Imagine that you had to actually, you couldn't fire anybody. You had to create a bill to be able to fire people who were treating people like dogs and who were lying to the American people. And he's right about trade. The only thing scared about trade a little bit is that the Congress might interfere and not let him do with what he wants to do. Let me just tell you briefly why he's right about trade. China buys about $460 billion a year or imported to the States. And the States exports to China about $115 billion. So there's about a $370 billion deficit. Trump says for every $50 billion you save, you could 50 to 100 billion, you're going to increase GDP by another point. What's that mean? Higher wages and more jobs. This guy's good. He knows. He's smart. And he said, oh, he's creating a war. No, he doesn't want a war. He'd rather have no tariffs. But he has to make them understand that he is going to bargain them to that point or make them go to that point. So everybody needs the U.S., not the other way around. Germany, they are the highest rate of exporter in the world compared to their GDP. And guess who's the least? America. And it's even better than it was. It's going to be even better than it was. Their number is like 12%, whereas Germany's up in over 60, 70%. You know who's second? Mexico. Canada's probably about fourth or fifth. And he's right even with Canada. There isn't free trade. If you order something from the States, they charge you 13% HST. So they say it's a value-added tax, but it's a tax. I bought some stuff down in the States, and they made the biggest deal over in the world about it coming over the border. I had to ship to a friend because there was no shipping if it's shipped to the States, and it's like $100 if it comes here to Canada. So he brings it up, and they give him the hardest time about this thing. And it didn't matter, because I'm in a business, I got back the HST anyways. But it's a big deal. There's no free trade. And if Trudeau was smart, he would have said to Trump, okay, let's work out a deal. And then let's go get Mexico to pay for the cars and for the wall. But he's not a businessman, he's a teacher. You guys are lucky. Trump gives everybody a reason to walk away from the Democrats. The biggest reason that you have to walk away is they throw this word Nazi around. It's disgusting. I'm Jewish, and I'm not religious, but when you say that word, it's like the other N word. It's disgusting, and they throw it around like it has no meaning to it. Anyways, this other thing about it being a bot, no one's going to care. Everybody's going to see the results of this. If you guys are good and everybody brings in one person, brings over one person from the Democrats to see the light and vote for Trump, and if he can get 60 seats in the Senate, you watch what he'll do. Then he'll start cutting costs. He knows how inefficient the government is, but you have to have that engine first, and then you go after the cost. He's good. You guys are lucky. The world's lucky. He's going to make the world a better place, a safer place. Look at how much he's already done for that. Law and order. Anyways, Brant, thank you so much for doing this. I got to give a shout out to Alex Jones from InfoWars. He donated 10 grand to the cause, that GoFund. Now I'm going to make mine. Everybody should be giving a donation. Just $10, $20, $25. Anyways, thanks for this heartwarming stories. And great to be part of it, even though I'm sort of an outsider, but I have a place in Arizona, so I'm not really an outsider. Anyways, thanks a lot.